Hi, I'm Chris Stirewalt, and a lordy day. This must be Power Play, because they just ran that whole graphic right there. How you doing, Internet? Another big week, so it's time for another, I guess we'll call this the first of the autumnal series of Power Play, your favorite game show where we test the knowledge of brilliant, insightful, capacious minds of Washington on their knowledge of current events and, yes, I confess, a little trivia. So I could think of no two better people. Actually, if you could put these two people together, they would know more about everything than anyone ever. Joining us from the Washington Post is James Hohmann. I hope that as soon as you finish subscribing to the Halftime Report, you signed up for his great morning newsletter from the Post, Daily 202, which is really, really good. James, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
And you, James, your complimentary competitor is Gillian Turner. She is a Fox News contributor, but before she did that, she served in both the Bush and Obama administrations. She knows things about the earth and the world, the people who live in it, and those of them who want to kill us. And so she will know all the great international questions. Oh, wait, there's only one.
And if I don't know the answer, it's because it's classified and I can't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Definite points for that. Now, we're going to go through the first round. We're going to go through multiple choice questions. Then we're going to go to true, false. Then we're going to go to everybody's favorite fill in the Trump.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And then the last one, the big one, is what you're going to use the cards that are in front of you for. The points go up as we go, so if you stink as you start, don't feel bad. All right, Gillian, starting with you. The White House announced personnel changes this week, including a new communications director. What longtime staffer has been named to the post? Was it A, Mercedes Schlapp, B, Dan Scavino, or C, Hope Hicks?
C.
C. James, what do you say?
C.
C, of course, duh. Starting out on a slow roll. I think we can safely say 28 makes her probably the youngest communications director ever.
Yes.
I think so.
Gotta be.
I would be shocked if there were someone who
Gotta be. Okay, James, to you. Apple unveiled its iPhone 10 this week. A lot of fanfare, $1,000. People are lemmings, blah, 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 blah. What is Apple's share, or what was Apple's share of the global phone market in 2016? Was it A, 14%, B, 48%, or C, 72%?
C.
Go C, 72%. Jillian.
Agree.
You agree? But you've been to other countries. The answer is A, 14%.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. People use cheap, terrible phones. Only Americans. These
Spend $1,000 on a phone.
Exactly. Acela Elites. Okay.
I like that it's the iPhone X, but it's the iPhone 10 is how we're supposed to pronounce it.
Right, exactly. Because also they can turn us into literally talking feces, and people are like, oh, that's great. You turned me into a pile of poop. Jillian, Bernie Sanders, you know. I saw you looking.
What are you talking about?
I saw you looking. Bernie Sanders released his plan for single-payer health care, federal government, blah, blah, blah. He calls it Medicare for All this week. He says we live in a democracy. We don't. We should be doing what the people want. According to a recent Kaiser Family Foundation poll, what percentage of Americans support a single health care payer system? Is it A, 53%, B, 27%, or C, 15%?
I'm going to go with...
More than half, about a quarter, or 15%?
I'm going to go with the quarter number.
Going with about a quarter. She's going with B, 27%. James, what do you say?
My gut tells me to go with B, but I feel like maybe I should lowball it. Maybe I should go with the 15%.
You guys just are terrible. I thought that you guys would be getting the ones that the other missed, but no, in fact, it's 53%.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. America's ready for more free stuff.
I just don't know how much it costs.
I thought I knew
That's
you
the
were
problem.
America.
Exactly. And when they find out how much free health insurance costs, they're going to be decidedly against it.
And they're really expensive, and you don't get as much of it.
Right. Exactly. But other than that, it's great. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but it's all kale. Okay.
And you have to wait 2 years to get the kale.
Exactly. All right, James, the United Nations is keeping a close eye on Myanmar, where an estimated 350,000 members of the Rohingya, a minority group in that country, are being forced to flee under persecution. To what faith do the Rohingya adhere? A, Christianity, B, Islam, or C, Buddhism?
B.
He says B, Islam. Jillian.
Agree.
She agrees. They finally got one right. It is Islam. That is true. Yay. Okay. Okay. Gillian, a European capital is suffering an invasion of crawfish. The American crustacean known as crawdads or mudbugs or mud puppies or crawdaddies. If you grew up on the banks of Big Wheeling Creek, you called them crawdaddies. They're a staple in bayou boils, but they're causing a big crisis across the pond. What city is inundated currently with these invaders? Is it A, Paris, B, Berlin, C, Vienna? You got a 33% chance. Just roll the dice.
Paris, Berlin, or Vienna?
Ask yourself, what would be funniest?
Well, that gives it away.
What would
Berlin would be fun.
Obviously, James.
Yeah, Berlin would be
obviously
funny.
Germans freaked out by thousands of because the French would have no problem. They would just eat them. There's no,
yes.
but the Germans, they. I love this.
Imagine them washing up on the banks of the Seine.
Exactly, and they're like, it's delicious.
That would be great.
I'll eat them. This looks fine. I have butter. But the Germans called animal control, and they have captured 3,000 crawfish in one downtown park. Okay, at the end of round one, EJ, what's the score? 3-3. You guys are literally the worst people who have ever played this game. You are literally, actually, like Charlie Hurt would be running laps around you. And I don't mean that as a compliment, and I think you know that. Okay.
If you would pay me more money to come on this show,
I know,
I would do better.
We have to step the bribes up. Okay, James, Hillary Clinton has a new book out this week. Maybe you've heard something about it. But she's not the only Chappaquidian who's hard at work as a writer. Her husband, Bill, is writing a thriller with best-selling author James Patterson called The President is Missing. Is that true or false?
True.
Gillian.
There's no way that's true.
So what's the opposite of true then?
False.
So she says false, and she's wrong, because obviously Bill Clinton would write a book called The President is Missing because he was on the lam. He was running and hiding out. Yes, they due out in June 2018, and there's already a movie adaptation in the works.
I will pre-order it for you.
Obviously,
both of you.
Obviously going to
Send me your mailing address.
Obviously going to be a great read. Okay. Gillian, in her campaign memoir, Hillary Clinton also said that she would warm Quest protein bars beneath her bottom. She would sit on the protein bars to warm and soften them in order to make them soft enough for her to enjoy eating as she campaigned. Is that true or false?
That is true.
James? What do you say?
I'm like halfway through the 500 pages, but it just sounds too disgusting for the Clintons, who are the most cautious people ever to admit in public.
You would think so, but you are wrong. In fact, Hillary Clinton bragged of warming with her keister food products to put in her mouth.
If I was only going to get one right the whole show,
that's the one.
This is the one. I can go home now, I think, actually.
Remember last year before the New York primary when she talked about how she had hot sauce in her bag swag, and then everyone jumped on that, and it turned out she actually does carry around hot sauce in her purse. And
in the book, she even goes on to talk about that the hot sauce, she says, boosts her immunity, and that is why. I wonder if she put Quest bars, I wonder if she put hot sauce on the bottom warmed.
With those,
so good. Okay, now, so it's still tied because you both missed. So you took turns missing. Okay, so this is where it's going to get good. Fill in the Trump. Okay.
Where we write stuff down?
No, that's the very last question. You got two more. So these are worth 5 points each.
Right.
It gets big. James, this is a tweet from El Presidente. The blank for the biggest tax cut and tax reform package in the history of our country will soon begin. Move fast, Congress.
Approval process.
He says approval process. You say, Gillian, the blank for the biggest tax cut and tax reform package in the history of our country will soon begin.
I can't just agree.
Yes, you can.
I mean, that sounds legit. I'm going to go with
I would agree
process.
with James. I would say if James Holmes, if he was prompting me, I would if you have a question about like how the Emiratis deal with cutouts into like Kenyan subgroup, I would totally just tell him to listen to you. So yes, that is correct. It is the approval process. But Gillian, you're going to get this one. You're going to get. He's going to follow your lead on this. The president talking to reporters said this: no blank has improved more than the United States Coast Guard. He was talking about hurricane efforts. No blank has improved more than the United States Coast Guard. What is that blank?
I'm going to go with service or branch.
You would think that.
Is that not allowed?
No, go with James. He knows.
It's brand. No brand.
The brand is killing it. The brand of the Coast Guard. Yeah. People who didn't even know, much like Frederick Douglass, he has heard that they're doing a lot of great things right now. Okay, so now James is in the lead, right? EJ, what's the score? 16-11. but it's not too late. It's not too late because the final question that you're going to use your cards for...
Rigged.
It's obviously rigged. It's a rigged system. And it was actually rigged in your favor, and you were not able to execute, which makes it even sadder. Okay, so the final round, you're going to write your answer on the cards.
Okay.
A survey from the Annenberg Center for Public Policy at the University of Philadelphia conducted in advance of this Sunday's Constitution Day celebration, which I think we're at 288, 287. Constitution old. Way to go.
Less than that.
Yeah. Oh well, a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Don't diminish the Constitution, James.
Every year it survives is a good year.
Is a good year. We're big fans. They found that that 1 in 3 Americans could not identify even a single branch of government, not even one. So sad. This would be saddening news to the framers, certainly, but particularly to the principal draftsman of our charter. He was a delegate from Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. He was famed for his unusual first name, his rakish ways, and of course his peg leg. Who was that man? Go ahead. James writing with the kind of authority of a guy who knows, or is faking it till he makes it.
The principal drafter, like the guy who physically wrote it down?
It would be too much to call him, perhaps, I would call him the architect, but that would be, I use the term draftsman because there were other people.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, go with the guy with the peg leg from Pennsylvania and that guy, and you'll be right.
Does Gillian get to go first?
Yes. Tell me, are you done? She's done. She smoked it like a sardine. What do you got? Are you ready? And we'll accept creative spelling on the first name. All right, you ready, James?
I guess I'm supposed to write down one answer, not.
Yes, this is not one of these 5 guys.
That's what I did.
All right.
I cede my points.
All right. No, you have to. What's your answer?
I don't know.
You don't want to even guess?
The peg leg is throwing me.
Me too.
What do you think it did to him? Holy crocono! Yeah. You think it's bad? What do you think he thought? Do you want to hazard a guess?
No.
So we have absolute refusal. She is betting 0. We need to change this to a bet to punish people. James.
Because you'd rather just not guess than have an embarrassing answer. It's like Whitney Houston. No.
No, Gillian, it's not Whitney Houston. I can't believe you'd say that. James, do you have a guess?
I was thinking someone like Rufus Gary.
Really?
But Ben Franklin.
Did you write anything down on your card?
Did he say Whitney Houston? I can't hear him.
He may have said Whitney Houston. The answer is Gouverneur Morris.
Gouverneur Morris.
Everybody always say? Richard Brookhiser wrote the greatest biography of him. It's so good, and he was this really colorful, rakish character, and he's responsible for concepts like how to take the ideas that were shared at Independence Hall and put them into real terms and make it work. And he was a genius, and he was super brilliant, and you guys have further defamed his memory. EJ, what is the final score? Oh, yeah, because nobody got any points. All right, James, good news for you. You are the winner of this funky, fresh, bacon-scented room deodorizer.
This is rigged.
That you can hang from your car, you put in your office, but this is yours, and we will send it over to you at the Washington Post fancy new headquarters.
I think, by default, I'm the only one that's here. I'm the only one that's here. I should get it.
You do not have to appear in person to actually collect your prize. James, we thank you for your time, and have a happy Constitution Day. And you, Gillian, we thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And you were quite good.
It was a joy.
It was a joy. And the Internet shall rejoice.
And a privilege.
And you, Internet, we hope that you will come back for more Power Play real soon.